What is going on, you average gamers? Hope you're all having a great day as always, and I have a very special video here for you today, and that is Devil May Cry 5. Now, this is my first time ever playing this game, sorta. I played this game a couple of years back, but never really got into it, but I've realized that my taste in video games has just changed over the last 2 years. One thing I want to point out before this video gets started is I am still new to this game, so I am a noob. I am not that great. I see a lot of other people being super talented at this game, and just give me some time. That is exactly why I'm making this video. I beg you guys to go watch my Sekiro series, my God of War series for sure. Anything that has pretty intense combat, I tend to get decent at it as I play throughout the game. Now, that's just something I like to do. I like to see myself get a little bit better. I also am addicted to these type of things where I want to see my improvement, but not just see my improvement. I just want to get better, because I feel as if you can enjoy these types of games so much more if you just put the time aside to get better. The reason I'm actually giving this game another try is because I saw it free on the PlayStation Store along with a free PS5 upgrade, so I was like, you know, why not? It's a free upgrade, might as well take it. But I also remember enjoying the game's combat, but not being good enough to really embrace what this game has to offer. Now, I'm not the biggest anime fan. I have nothing against anime. I've watched Invincible, absolutely love it. I know that's an American anime. And there's a lot of other people that will sit here and say that there's so many other better animes. My whole thing is I enjoy what I enjoy, right? So this game reminds me a little bit of some anime because the combat in it is insane. Now, just because I haven't watched any of the other shows doesn't mean I haven't seen clips of other shows. You know, so like I have a basic understanding of what kind of anime is, and this game is like right on the nose with its combat. You have insane, crazy dodges, the air combat's nuts. There's so many different button combinations that are just so insane. Speaking of the button combinations, they can seem a little overwhelming. For example, like you hit with triangle and sometimes you have to hold circle or hold square to charge up a move, whether it's your gun or your arm. And they have these really cool special effects, but since I play on a regular controller, I find it a little hard sometimes to hold circle and sometimes, you know, melee. And I have to just sit there and not really attack. Now, I'm sure I will get better at it, and there is a way to remap your controls. But since I'm still relatively new to the game, I would like to figure out what each button does first before I just start changing stuff. So right off the bat, the things that I enjoy the most are, of course, the fluid animations. They are so crisp and so clean, and I feel like every combination in the game isn't super hard. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but, you know, the way you fight is your own type of style. Like I said, I've seen other people play this game, which is exactly why I wanted to play this game. You know, some of the things that people do are absolutely insane. I don't think I'll ever kind of reach that level, but if I'm able to get to even sort of close to that, I will take it. Like I said, I do recommend you guys watching my God of War series so you guys can understand how decent I can get at a video game. And then not just that, my Sekiro gameplay, so you can watch me be an absolute noob, because I just recently did my first ever playthrough on Sekiro, which is another amazing game, right? Super hard, right? But an amazing game. And I sat there and I struggled for like the first 4 or 5 episodes, and then all of a sudden I just woke up and it kind of clicked. All that practice paid off, and this game is exactly that. That practice that you put in will 100% pay off. I know I still have a crazy amount to learn, and like I said, in due time I will only get better, but for right now I'm trying to focus a little bit more on my combat, because there's so many upgrades that I still don't even have, and I'm still trying to grasp the basics. But my favorite thing so far about, well, I guess Nero, because from what I've seen there's 3 different people that you can play as. I just now made it to V, so I'll probably make a video about him, which is kind of tough, I'm not gonna lie, because I really enjoy Nero. I know I'll probably be able to go back and play some missions and stuff like that, but I really love playing as him. He's just very fun to me. I have yet to play as Dante. Alright, so I have no idea what to expect with him. But the one thing I find super addicting with Nero is, again, just charging up his sword, getting that Excalibur flame, and then just kind of going crazy because it changes some of your animations. Plus, there's like a little bit of a timing thing. So for example, like if you press triangle and then L2 right after, well, since I'm playing on PlayStation, that's what it is, you can charge it up instantly. And I don't know what it is about it, but it's fun. Like just the timing of it's not hard, but I remember my very first time playing this game, I was having a hard time doing it. Like I just couldn't get the timing down, and I don't know what changed, right? But over the course of like 2 years, I came back to this game and I'm 10 times better just automatically than I ever was playing this game. And I feel like that's why I'm enjoying it so much more. Now, I don't think you have to be good at this game. I mean, look at me. I'm really not that good. And for anyone that's sitting here going, you know, you're all right. You're right. I'm okay, right? I'm still trying to figure it out. Like I keep saying, there is a lot to learn and a lot to grasp. But the one thing I need to point out, right, is your own fighting style is your own. So you don't have to be necessarily super flashy, putting a million different combos together, even though it looks cool. You can figure out your own pacing. There's taunting in this game. There's really cool dodges and dashes you can take advantage of. For example, Nero has a lot of different arm upgrades that can provide traversal or just different combat effects. And it's just really nice, you know? So again, you don't have to sit there and think you have to spam a million different buttons to be good. Even though that might be the case, I'm not sure, I don't know, right? I think the whole concept though of video games is to just enjoy them, you know? So if you enjoy the game in any sense, then there you go. The only issue I really have with this game is I don't know if I can go out there and say that I want you guys to play it, right? Because I don't know what you guys are into. I'm not trying to have you guys spend money on something that you're not gonna like. So a lot of the times you'll hear me refer to like The Last of Us, Red Dead, God of War, like any AAA game, pretty much. It's like those are my go-to games. Spider-Man, you know, that type of stuff. Even the Batman games. Like a lot of just your basic good games are the games that I would tell anybody to go play. I would tell anybody to go play this one, but there is a pretty big skill curve or learning curve, and sometimes people just don't have the patience to go through it, and I 100% understand, right? Because again, this isn't my true first time playing this game. I did touch it before, but I never really liked it enough to keep trying to get better at it. So that's kind of what my whole spiel is if you think you have the patience to sit here and get better, this game is 1000% worth it. There's a lot of cool mechanics that pretty much anybody will love, and there's a lot of cool things that you can do in this game. So is it worth it? For sure. But if you're not the biggest combo person, or if you don't like to struggle sometimes or like to learn, then this isn't for you. If you know, the game's not hard. It's really not hard, okay? But for others, it might seem stupid hard, or you might not understand a concept, or you know, sometimes these games are meant for like specific gamers that really like combat games, you know, like for example, I play on Give Me God of War and like religiously, and to some people that might seem like an impossible task, but I can't play the game the same without playing it on that difficulty, because I need every enemy to be an absolute sponge. I need them to absorb as much contact as possible, because I feel like I just can destroy the enemies too fast on a regular difficulty. So here I am playing on the medium difficulty in this game, and then maybe eventually be able to play on the hardest one if I put the time into it. But putting a whole lot of time into this game is what I'm on the fence about a little bit, mostly because I have this crazy burning passion for so many other video games where as soon as I start putting a lot of time into this game, I'm gonna miss a mechanic from a different game, or just, for example, like, I sit here randomly, I'm like, wow, the Red Dead 2 story was amazing. Do you remember this scene? Yeah, let's go enjoy that again. I don't know why I'm like that, but that's just how it is. Or I'll be sitting here going, you know what? I really miss the fluidity of the God of War combat. Or maybe what I just did on my most recent playthrough is I like to be super efficient, right? And that's how I like to play God of War. Sometimes I like to be super flashy. Other times I try to combine both efficiency and flashiness, which is why I recommend you guys watching my God of War playthroughs, because there is a whole lot of sweating going on in those gameplays. I try pretty hard to make a lot of scenarios look pretty cool and clean for you guys. One thing I feel like I should have brought up forever ago is the soundtrack in this game. Me personally, sometimes I don't really notice it because I'm trying so hard at trying to make my combos more fluid or my timing a little bit better. But there are times where I do notice it, and it makes me go hard in the paint. Dude, like, I just want to keep comboing, I just want to keep fighting, and then all of a sudden the music starts fading because you beat all the enemies, and you're like, aw. You can't wait to get to the next encounter just for that music to go crazy hard. I'm actually really curious to see what you guys have to say about this game. Have you played it? Have you not played it? Does it look too complicated? Does it look intimidating to try to remember all the combinations? Whatever it is. I can see from a lot of different perspectives because again, when I first played this game, I didn't enjoy it that much. So I can see it from that perspective. I can also see putting thousands of hours into this game to mastering the combat. Just tell me how you feel about the game. Personally, I am enjoying it a lot more now, and I do recommend it for a lot of people that enjoy these type of games. But don't look at it like, oh, this is extremely overwhelming, there's no way I'll be able to do this, because you can still enjoy the game. There's still an easy mode that you can play on, you can still enjoy the story, a lot of the animations, and whether you want to get good or not, if that's your intention, you're going to regardless, right? Because there's only room for improvement. You're going to find a move that you really like, your timing of things is going to get better, you're going to start piecing together your own combinations, stuff like that. Spoiler ahead for this video, I do fight a boss at the end of this, and I'll tell you right now, it's so ugly. Not the boss, but my combat. And a part of me wanted to restart the entire encounter and make it look like a lot cleaner, but then I felt like I would have cheated you guys out of my real first time fighting the boss. Again, as you can see, I still need a lot of work. I get hit so much, there's a lot of mechanics of the fight that I didn't even understand until about halfway through. So I'm basically just trying to show you guys that, like, dude, everybody's going to go through that learning curve, right? Nobody's going to pick up the controller and just be an instant god. I mean, I don't want to say nobody, because there's going to be that 1% of people that are like, oh yeah, watch this, and then absolutely make me look like an idiot. But you guys should understand what I'm trying to say. If I had to give a rating of the game, I have to give it like a 7 or 7.5. Now listen, that is extremely high. And I feel like the reason why that number is at a 7 is because the combat is insane. But I'll tell you right now, I have no idea what's going on with the story, nor do I really care all that much, because I'm like, the combat just outshines everything. So maybe that's what it is, right? But like, for example, like God of War, for the 9th time that I'm bringing it up in this video, that whole game is revolved around a super great storytelling, like drama narrative, right? Alongside with its crazy combat. Now this game's combat is insane compared to any other game, right? But this story, I feel like, is like, I don't really care enough for it. So that's why I give it a 7.5. I'm sorry if you disagree, right? Like, I'm not saying that I don't like this story, it's just, it's not compelling, or at least it's not as compelling as the combat is. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, a like would mean an absolute ton, and I do plan on making more of these videos, so keep an eye out for that. As always, I love y'all, and I hope you guys enjoy. Peace.
Annoying. How about I shut you up?